get started. So I'm going to have you start lying down on your back with the soles of your feet together, your knees nice and wide, rolling all the way onto your spine. All the way down. So this is called Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, lying all the way down on your back. And again, this is where you might place pillows underneath your knees. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And then shut down the eyelids. So you're in that open hip position lying down. And once you've found that position and you can allow yourself to settle on in, I just want you to focus a little bit more on the internal, the breath. So with every inhale, I want you to feel your belly rise, and then your chest. With every exhale, the chest lowers, and then the belly lowers. And then creating that really smooth rhythm with your breathing. Slow inhales, maybe a 3 or 4 count in. And a slow exhale, 3 or 4 count out. Opening up through the inner thighs, let the knees fall heavy, let the hips soften and relax. Feel the soles of the feet together, feel that connection within the body. Soften the backs of the shoulders down, lengthen through the back of the neck. Let's take 3 more big deep breaths here. Inhale through the nose, belly will fill. Ribs expand, chest fills. Exhale, chest melts down towards the mat, then the ribs, and then the belly. Another 2 more breaths, inhale. Slowly exhale. One more big deep breath in. Exhale it out. Then on your next breath in, slide those feet down the front of your mat. Reach the fingertips to the back. Create a nice long full body stretch from toes to fingertips, creating length through that front and back side body. Walk your heels off to the right side, your hands off to the right. Feel that stretch down the left side body, still pancaking your body on your mat. The ribs open, the hips, that whole left side. Big inhale. And exhale. As you inhale, the hands back through the center. Take the feet off to the left. Same with your arms. Feeling that nice side body stretch to the right. Good. Take a nice couple big deep breaths here. One more breath in. Slowly walk it all back to the mid-line of your mat. As you sweep the arms out wide, hug the knees into the chest. Give them a nice squeeze. Massage out the low back by rocking gently from side to side. Maybe wiggle around the toes or roll out the ankles. And then send your arms out really wide, palms down. Drop the knees to the right, turn your gaze to the left. Nice, easy spinal twist. Breathing into this whole left side of your rib cage. Good. On your inhale, draw the knees up through center, and on your exhale, let them fall to the left. Turn your gaze to the right. Opening up across the chest, so really pulling that right shoulder blade down. Turning your gaze down the right fingertips. Gently coming back through center, taking your hands behind your knees. Start to rock and roll up and down a handful of times, massaging out the length of your spine. And after that 3rd or 4th rock, I want you to come to seated. Take the soles of the feet together. So sitting up nice and tall. Knees are open wide, soles of the feet ground together. Roll the shoulders back, lengthen. Just breathe softly into the inner thighs. Feel that opening up. As you inhale, lengthen the spine even taller. As you exhale, feel free to pull the chest closer to the toes if that's available. You might still feel quite tight this morning, so be gentle with your body. Maybe you bow the chin to the chest, opening up through the back of the neck and the cervical spine. And we'll slowly inhale, lift. We'll extend those legs out in front, reach fingertips up high to the sky. On an exhale, easy forward fold. So really digging into some of these stretches right away this morning. Try to soften the shoulders. Let go of any attachment you have to how far you feel like you're supposed to go in this pose. And instead, just let the chest and the torso melt over the front of the thigh. So there's no expectation of how far you should be able to go. It's just about giving the hamstrings, the backs of the knees, and the low back a little bit of some gentle opening to start. Good. Taking a few big deep breaths into the low back. As you exhale, soften those shoulders a little bit more for me. Good. As you inhale, slowly roll up. Let's sweep the legs off to one side. Find a tabletop position onto your hands and knees. So shoulders stack over your wrists. Hips stack over your knees. And make sure that you can see in between those legs without seeing your toes. Good. Spread your fingers really wide. And then let's just rock forward and back. So opening up those wrists. Feeling that weight and pressure shift. If you want to tuck those toes underneath, you can even stretch through the arches of the feet. Nice. And we'll actually pause. We'll take our fingertips, point them out to the side, and then I just want you to rock gently side to side with your torso. So you're going to get this little bit of opening up through the wrists and the shoulders. And last little stretch here, I want you to turn those fingertips, if available, towards your knees. And they might turn out just slightly. And then I just want you to lean back, pressures into those fingertips, feeling that stretch through the forearms. Still tucked into those toes if that feels okay. And then gliding forward a little bit, and then pulling it back, feel that stretch. And then as you rotate those fingertips back forward to the front of your mat, your belly drops down, your gaze turns up. Good. Finding that cow stretch on your exhale, cat stretch. Round through the spine, look between the thighs. Press the ground away. Really find that opening up of the upper back. Good. On your inhale, gaze is up. Opening up across the chest, soften the shoulders down away from your ears. Exhale into your cat stretch. Maybe shift your weight forward and back like we did just moments ago. Inhale, belly drops down, soften the elbow. Feel the stretch through the abdominals. Exhale, rounding through, really trying to bring your chin all the way to your chest, rocking forward and back a couple of times. And then gently release. Opening up through the shoulders to prepare for our big hip opener move today. Inhale, reach your right hand really high to the sky. Turn your gaze up. Good. On your exhale, watch that hand sweep through as you lower your head and shoulder down. Threading the needle. So head rests down, fingertips stretch to the left side of the mat. Big breath through the back of this right shoulder blade. You have the option here to extend the left arm forward if that feels okay. You can also stretch it up high to the sky. And the last option would be to bring it behind the low back for a half bind. If you're in this position, I want you to think about shining your heart open. So we want to avoid crunching or closing in. I want you to really open up the body. Lengthen that spine a little bit more. Keep reaching the right fingertips as far away from you as possible. Good. And as you sweep that left hand really high to the sky, exhale, place it beneath the left shoulder. On your inhale, right hand comes all the way up, up, up. Turn your gaze up. Exhale, place that right hand down. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So on your inhale, that left hand rises. Big stretch. Lengthen through the spine, forward and back. Exhale, send that hand through. Lower your head and shoulder down. Keep reaching the left fingertips now to the right side of your mat. Trying to roll the chest open, stacking the shoulders. And then you have that option again to reach the right hand forward. You can also stretch the right hand up and exhale, take it behind the low back, going for that half bind position. So again, this is just helping to open up through the whole chest, through the shoulders. Good. here, taking that half bind. Go ahead and inhale, reach your right hand high. Exhale, place the right hand down onto the mat. On your inhale, stretch that left hand all the way up, up, up. Turn your gaze up. And then exhale, place the hand down. Find your tabletop position. Good. Nice, strong through our tabletop as we're ready. Keep those toes tucked, send your hips up high. Your first downward facing dog. Good. And today I want you to take your feet a little bit wider in your downward facing dog. And just pedal out your feet and wake out your hips. Good. Feel a stretch through the calves, so the arches of the feet. Find that stable position. So get rid of any wiggles, any movements before we pause here. Before we really settle in. Good. Plugging through the hands, draw your navel in, lift up on your kneecaps, and draw the heels even further down. Let's lift up off of both heels. Drop the heels to the right side. Bend your right knee and press through the left side body. So that left hand is glued down. Go ahead and inhale, roll up onto the balls of the feet. As you exhale, heels drop to the left. That left knee bends. You're feeling a nice stretch of that right side body now. Go ahead and inhale, roll up to the toes. And then draw the heels down towards your mat as you walk the hands backwards. Taking a wide forward fold stance. Feel free to bend your knees as much as you need here. Trying to get the hips stacked over the ankles. Good. So if you have to bend your knees, that's perfectly okay. Grab opposite hand to opposite elbow. Try to let the head fall just a little bit heavier, letting gravity do the job. Big breaths through the back. Exhale. Another inhale. As you exhale, take the fingertips down. Walk your hands all the way out. Find a plank position. High plank. Good. Stack your shoulders over your wrist. Pause here for a moment. Fingers are spread really wide. Try to open up through your collarbone and draw the shoulder blades down towards your heels. Good. As you're ready, roll to the tippy toes. Maybe lower down to your knees as your elbows hug your ribs. Tops of the feet roll onto the mat. Hips lower. Baby cobra, just keep those hips down, rolling the shoulders all the way down. Exhale, melt the heart down. Inhale, lift and open, little to no weight into the hands. Exhale, melt it down. Either choose that cobra or press into a full upward facing dog, rolling the inner elbows forward, shining the heart forward. Shoulders are over the wrists, tops of the feet on the mat. Good. Extending tall through the crown of the head. Big inhale. As you exhale, send those hips up high, downward facing dog. Taking a moment here. Again, plugging through those hands, reaching those heels a little bit lower, finding that opening through the backside body, firmly gluing into the heels and the balls of the feet. Slowly walk the hands back, finding that nice wide stance forward fold position. Bend your knees again. Let everything hang down really low. Now this time, take your right hand in between the feet. On your inhale, stretch that left leg as long as you can. Reach the right hand, your left hand high. Right knee bends here. Your gaze can be down. It can also be up. But what I want you to play with is your weight shifting forward and back slightly. Good. Finding more length through the spine. Go ahead and gently release that left hand in between the feet to reach your right hand high. That right leg extends as much as possible. The left knee bends this time. Gently release. Let's go ahead and bend those knees. Keep your wide stance as you slowly roll all the way up to the top. So finding that length through the spine. Your feet are nice, sturdy, planted down. Inhale, reach up really high. On your exhale, slide the right hand down. Reach that left arm up and over. Now I want you to rotate your chest upwards. Good. On your inhale, reach up. Palms press together. Exhale, slide that left hand down. Reach that right arm up and over. Maybe turn your gaze up if that's okay. So just trying to open up the side body. Feel a stretch through the shoulders a little bit more. Inhale, reach up really high. Now getting that big stretch through the front of the shoulders. Send the arms out wide. Keeping that wide stance with your feet. Interlace all 10 hands. Reach your knuckles down towards the space between your heels. Turn your gaze up. Now exhale, bend your knees. Go ahead and lift the knuckles up towards the sky, the crown of the head down. Straighten the legs the best you can here. Feel that stretch through the front of the chest. Good. Back of the legs. Feel that weight shift forward just a tad bit more if you can. If this is too much for any reason, you can go ahead and release those hands. Let's take one more big breath in. And then exhale, slowly walk the hands down to your toes and then out into that high plank position, top of a push-up. Good. Find that length forward and back through the top of the head and the back of the heels. Pausing here for a moment as you shift into your tippy toes. Exhale, hug the elbows to the ribs. Low plank if that's available. Inhale, upward facing dog, opening up the chest, rolling the shoulders back. Good. Now use your core to lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Go ahead and inhale, lift those heels really high. Exhale, take the heels, drop them to the right, bend your right leg. Feel that stretch to the left side body. Inhale, stretch those heels up, roll to the balls of the feet. Exhale, heels drop to the left, left knee bends, right side body stretch. Good. Go ahead and inhale, roll up to the balls of the feet. Walk those hands back towards the toes. The feet are still wide, toes turn out. Sink really low into a frog pose. So we're just starting to wake up those hips a tad bit more already. Good. So in this frog pose position, don't worry about if your heels are completely planted. If that's not available, that's okay. I just want you to rock gently from side to side here. Find some gentle movement into the inner thighs, into the hips. And let's go ahead and plant those hands down, send those hips up high. Beautiful. Walk those hands back out to that plank position. Exhale, lower down to your low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up high. Downward facing dog. Amazing job. Big inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, take the left foot to the center of your mat. Inhale your right leg high. Three-legged down dog. Good. Just roll out your right ankle for me. All the way through the knee. Maybe through the hip. And maybe if you're ready, you can stack the hips and stretch that left heel even further. Look under your right arm. Good. On an inhale, extend your right leg really high. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Lower the left knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale to rise. Good. Exhale, take the hands to the thighs, lunge into that front leg. Feel that stretch through the left hip flexor. Soften the shoulders. Lift out of your waist. Good. Make sure that right knee isn't floating too far over the toes. Inhale, stretch the arms, send the hips back. And then take the hands inside of that right foot. Walk the right foot to the edge of your mat and find your runner's lunge or lizard variations. Right here, nice and low. So it's hand, foot in this position. And from here, you can allow yourself to roll to the outer edge of that right foot if that feels okay. Good. Just finding that nice strong base through the upper body. And if you feel like you want even a tad bit more as we pause here for a second, you can reach your right hand up high. And you can bend the left foot, grabbing for the left top of the foot. Kind of in this little bound position. Try and shine your chest towards that right leg. Good. No matter where you are, let's go ahead and all return the hands back to the foot. Let's tuck the left toes, sweep that right leg around. Find your downward facing dog. Good, and then pedal that out. Take a nice big deep breath or two. Firmly grounded through the hands, reaching those heels nice and low. Take that right foot now to the center of your mat as you inhale the left leg high to the sky. Three-legged down dog. Roll out the ankle, roll out the knee, roll out the hips. Good. Maybe you float your left hip to stack on top of the right. Basically drawing your left heel towards your right butt cheek, looking under that left arm. Good. Go ahead and inhale, extend that left leg up high. As you step it between the hands any way you need to get it there. And then gently lower to the right knee, untuck the toes, inhale to rise. On your exhale, the hands come to the thighs, softening the shoulders. Lunge into the front leg. And remember, we're trying to lift out of the waist, keeping those shoulders down away from your ears. And then energetically pulling that left heel and right knee towards one another to lift the torso even higher. Good. Go ahead and take those hips back, send the arms up high. Take both hands inside of that left foot. Walk the left foot to the edge of the mat. Find your runner's lunge variation. So from here, you can lunge deeper into that left leg. Lengthening through the neck, so you don't want to be crunched here. You don't want to drop into your shoulders. Press the ground away. You have the option to roll to the outer edge of that left foot. Some people even like to gently press that left knee away, giving that hip a little bit deeper stretch. You might even roll all the way open. And you may stretch that left hand high and grab the right foot. So pulling that right heel towards your butt cheek, that's going to get your right quadricep. Good. Big deep breath. Go ahead and gently release the hand if you're grabbing onto the foot. Frame both hands down, sweep that left foot around, send the hips up high, downward facing dog. Keeping your feet nice and wide, walk the hands back, turn the toes out, sit low into that frog pose, send the fingertips forward. Good, take the hands to prayer as you inhale, stand. As you exhale, sink really low, stretch the fingers forward. Walk the hands out. Find a wide stance, high plank positions. We're just playing around with that wide footing. Go ahead and exhale, lower down to your low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we're just reversing what we might normally do. Normally we walk to the top of our mat. Today we're walking further back, trying to build into opening up the hips. And one of our peak poses for today, which will be birds of paradise. Let's go ahead and set that left foot to the center of your mat. Reach your right leg high to the sky. Roll out the ankle, bend the knee, open up the hips. If it's in your practice or if you want to have a play, you're going to flip your dog. So you're going to gently place that right foot to the left side of your mat. Roll to the outer edge of the left foot. Sweep your right arm up high. So you have 3 limbs down. You're reaching up, up, up through the hips, energizing through the fingertips. Like you're stretching for something up on the ceiling. And then look down at the left hand to return. Right hand goes down, right leg goes up. 3-legged down dog. As you exhale, bring that right foot between the hands. Find your low lunge position. Good, pausing here for a second. Coming up to the fingertips, lengthen through the crown of the head. Stretch that left heel all the way back and down. Good. Now you're going to walk your hands to the center of your mat. So rotate towards the left. Both toes point towards the left side of your mat. So you're in wide straddle stance position today. Exhale, melt the chest a little bit closer between the thighs. Crown of the head towards your toes. Press firmly into the outer edges of the feet. You're going to get this nice stretch to the outsides of the ankles and the calves. Good. Pausing here. Enjoying this forward fold position, getting some oxygen to the crown of the head. And then lengthen through the legs. We're going to shift all of our weight to that left foot. So you're going to rotate onto the heel of the right. That left toe turns out. Skandasana. So this can be a tough pose. You can come to the fingertips here. We're really diving into that right hamstring and inner thigh. If it's available for you, you can bring your hands to prayer, stretch your arms out. Don't stress too much about this left heel being down. Softening those shoulders a little bit more. And let's take those hands down. Walk the hands to the front of your mat. Frame the hands to that right foot. And then sweep that right foot back, 3-legged down dog. Reach it up, up, up. And then gently bring your right foot to the center of your mat. That left leg will stretch high. Good, 3-legged down dog. Bending that left knee. Maybe opening and stacking the hips. Maybe this is where you stay. If you want to flip your dog, you can bring that left foot to the right side of your mat. Roll to the outer edge of the right foot. Send your hips up really high. Reach that left arm up and back. Good, so this is just a beautiful opening through the front side body. Big breath. Go ahead and look down at the right hand. Left hand goes down, left leg goes up. And then on your exhale, set the left foot between the hands. Low lunge, sinking really low to start. So in this low lunge position, you want to try to imagine peeling your ribs off of your thighs, lengthening through the crown, and sending that right heel back and down. So ideally, we have this really beautiful line from the back of the head through the heel. And then from here, you're going to walk your hands to the right side, spin the left toes towards the right. Then we have our wide stance on the other side, so facing towards the right. Press into the outer edge of the feet once again. And this time you're going to inhale, lengthen the spine, find your half lift, send those arms out wide. Take the hands behind you and draw the crown of the head down, knuckles high. And if this is too much for the shoulders, feel free to take any other variation. Continue to press into the outer edges of the feet. Go ahead and release those hands down. Lengthen through the spine. You're going to turn those left toes out to the side and up. Turn the right toes out slightly, 45 degrees, and then lean over to that right side. Draw the hands to prayer, so Skandasana on the other side. Good. Really opening up the chest, softening the shoulders down. This might feel like a really big stretch for you. That's okay. Take those hands down. Take a little bit of weight out of it, right? By supporting your hands. So this is a fine place to be. This can often be quite a lot. Good. Let's go ahead and take those hands down. Walk your hands all the way to the top of your mat as you sweep that left leg all the way up, three-legged down dog. And then gently place that left foot down to meet the right, downward facing dog. Good. If your feet aren't already wide, go ahead and take them wide. Firmly pressing into those feet. Go ahead and even turn those toes out 45 degrees. And then walk your hands back, sinking already really low into that frog pose. So you should feel those hips feel quite open at the moment. Your palms can be to prayer, they can stretch out. But I want you to press into the feet, right? So really like taking the weight upwards. Good, let's take our hands to prayer as we press through the heels to rise. And then we'll exhale, go really low again. Good. Press through those feet. Energize to get yourself up. Good. Exhale, sink really low. Send those arms out. Good. Really powering up through the inner thighs. Go ahead and one more time. Inhale, stretch it up. And lower down. Good. Go ahead and take those hands. Walk them to the front of your mat. High plank. Shift your shoulders over your fingers. Elbows in, low plank. Lifting the chest, opening. Good. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your left foot to the center of your mat on your inhale, right leg rises. Bend the right knee, draw the right heel towards your butt cheek. Stay here, flip your dog, roll to the outer edge of the left foot, right foot plants down, hips rise, lift. Good. One breath. Go ahead and look down at the left hand, right hand goes down, right leg goes up. Exhale, draw the right foot between the hands. Low lunge, sink low for just a moment. Take a big deep breath. And exhale. Open your arms out wide. Take the hands behind you. Reach your knuckles towards the heels. Open the chest. Good. Now launch forward. Modified airplane pose. Find your point of focus. Beautiful. Draw that left hip down. Keep reaching that left leg back. As you soften into that right leg, the left toes plant down. Releasing the hands, finding your crescent lunge. Good, and then we'll blossom open. We'll find your warrior two for just a second as you straighten the right leg. Turn the right toes towards the left. Lift the chest. Good, and exhale, forward fold, grabbing the ankles. Pull the chest down between the feet. Good, those elbows bow out to the side to give yourself just a little bit more leverage. You'll gently place that right hand in between your feet beneath your right shoulder as you inhale. That left leg or left hand will rise, turn your gaze up. Good, so you just have some nice long lines here from planted hand to raised hand. The legs are nice and wide, the spine is long. Go ahead and draw that left hand down. Let's rotate to that skandasana, so your right toes flip up. Your left toes go out 45. Shift your weight to that left side. Maybe stretch your arms out. Big breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Walk your hands to the front of your mat. Listen carefully. Send your right foot back. Shift to your right side for right side plank. Lift those hips up really high. Left hand really high. You have the option to lower down to your bottom knee if you need that support, or lower down to the elbow if it's too much for the wrists. Big inhale. Stretch the left fingertips even higher. Exhale, take that left hand down. Exhale, downward dog. Good. Pedaling out those feet. Take your right foot in between, or the middle of your mat, left leg will rise. Bend the left knee, open up the hips, stay here, or decide to flip your dog, taking that left foot to the right side of your mat. Roll to the outer edge of the right foot, send those hips up, up, up. Reach that left arm up. Good, really active and opening through that front side body. This is just an option. You can always just stay in that three-legged dog. Look down at the mat. Left leg rises up. Exhale, draw the left foot between the hands. Low lunge. Find your base to start. Try to peel the belly off of the thighs. Draw the shoulders down away from your ears. Lengthen even more through that back leg as those arms go out wide. Good. And then you'll take those hands, lift, crescent lunge. Hands interlace behind. Find the awkward grip, the one you wouldn't normally take. Launch forward into your airplane pose. Find that point of focus. Opening up the chest a little bit further, drawing that right hip down. Bending that left leg, take the right toes all the way back. Inhale, lift. Good, extend the left leg as you open up to warrior two for just a second. Straightening the leg, turn the left toes forward. Inhale, lift, up, up, up. Exhale, forward fold. Grabbing onto those ankles. Elbows bow out to the side to bring the crown of the head. The goal, right, is to bring the crown of the head as low to the mat as possible. If you can, at this stage, take those feet even wider and physically touch the crown of your head to your mat. Go for gold. We'll take that left hand down to the mat in between the feet as your right hand reaches high. Good, gently bring that right hand down. Let's roll those left toes up towards the sky, lean over to the right side, skandasana on the other side. Arms can stretch out, they can also be down. No stress about the heel, just lift the chest the best you can. Breathe, soften the shoulders. Take those hands down, walk them up towards that left side. Sweep that left foot back and prepare for your left side plank. Vashisthasana, roll to the left side. Reach that right arm up high. Either stay here, lower down to the knee, or take those modifications or variations. You can also lift that top leg if you like. Good. And we'll roll that right hand down. Take those feet as wide as your mat. Wide stance, high plank. Turning those toes out, walk the hands back. Sink low into those hips, so your frog pose or malasana. Draw the hands to prayer. Good, so at this stage, those inner thighs and hips should be really warm, should be quite open. Go ahead and release the hands down. Let's bring the knees and top of the feet, so you're sitting onto those heels. Good. Just take the hands to the thighs, roll the shoulders back, maybe close down the eyelids for a second. Take a big inhale. And exhale. So at this stage, we're going to roll and open up through those shoulders just a little bit more than we already have. So I'm going to have you start by reaching your right hand really high to the sky. Good. And then take your left hand behind you. You're going to bend that left elbow and try to reach between the shoulder blades and up towards your neck. Right, so that left hand is coming up. Okay, now your goal is to try to reach for the left fingertips. So right elbow is high, left elbow is down. Those hands are interlaced if that's available. The chest is lifted and open. So this is a function of that shoulder mobility and flexibility. This might not be available for you, and that's perfectly fine. You do have that option to grab a towel, a tea towel, shirt, tie, scarf. If you have a yoga strap, obviously that's fantastic. And basically hold in one hand, in your right hand in this case, and that left hand, and try to pull it apart. Goal here, though, is to really open up your chest and shoulders. Let's go ahead and gently releasing those arms out wide. And then we'll rotate that right arm will go down, left hand will go high. Take your right elbow, bend, and reach between those shoulder blades best you can. Good, so really trying to get your hand, palm is facing away. Left hand stretches up. And then grabbing onto those fingertips. So it's really important here again, as it is in yoga, to let go of any attachment you have to what position you're supposed to get into, right? Because this isn't going to do much for us if we're completely rounded forward and we have no good posture. So if you can't touch those hands together, then just grab onto your supports, so that blanket, or the towel, or the belt, scarf. Good, let's gently take those arms out really wide, opening up the chest. And then we're going to take our reverse prayer position. So you're going to take both hands now behind you. Good, so this might be as far as you go, and that's fine. But if you can, I want you to try to bring the palms together. And as they work together, walk them further up the spine between those shoulder blades. Press those palms together and open up the chest, like you're pulling those elbows backwards. Like so. This is an enormous stretch for the wrists, through the shoulders, the front of the chest. Gently release. Take those hands down. Let's go ahead and come to the tippy toes for me. Good. You're rolling onto the balls of the feet, finding a little bit of balance. Taking those arms out in front of you. Just balancing with those heels lifted up as high as you can. Good. And then staying up on the balls of the feet. Slowly press to standing. Good. And then take those heels down. Inhale, stretch the arms out and up. Exhale, send those arms out really wide, forward fold. Good. So now we're going to work into our birds of paradise, which is why we've been opening up those hips and arms so much. So I'm going to have you take those feet nice and wide. We're going to go into that same frog pose we've come into many times. So sink nice and low into that frog pose. Good. So birds of paradise is a bound position. So I'm going to take you through many options. Start with your hands to prayer. So to start, you can take your left hand and plant it down in front of you, pressing your tricep into your left knee, and then keep trying to draw that left shoulder to your knee as you rotate open. So you kind of have this leverage of your shoulder on your inner knee. If that's unavailable, do what you can. Keep walking that left hand out. Good. This is step one. Step two, right hand comes behind the low back. Good. So it's like you're trying to grab your left inner thigh. Take that left hand underneath your left leg. So now you're going to try to reach for that right hand. You're going to try to clasp it. And if that's available, you can extend your legs. So you're going to be in this really awkward bound position. Good. So your hands are interlaced. They're not going anywhere. You're gonna walk that right foot to the center, right underneath you. That's your balancing point. And this is the hard part. Shift your weight into that right leg. Lift your left toes off of the mat. And then try to rise. Good. So you're gonna feel a lot of stretch through the shoulders. You're finding that balance. So you can stay right here. This can be plenty. If you want a little bit more, you're gonna extend those left toes. Finding that full birds of paradise position. Finding that point of focus. Good. Trying not to fall out of it. Pausing, finding that big deep breath. It's hard to talk and do this at the same time. Good. Gently release the hands, the feet down, release the hands, and come into a wide stance forward fold. Shaking out those hips from side to side. You should feel a lot of stretch through the shoulder for that one. We still have that other side to do. Sink nice and low. Finding that frog pose, Malasana, hands come to prayer. So walking through this step by step. So for this next side, that right elbow presses into the right knee, that left hand rises. So your right hand plants firmly down, reach, reach, reach. Now the lower you can get that right shoulder to the knee, the more resistance you're gonna have to get this twist a little bit bigger. Good, the next step, bring that left hand behind the low back. So it's like you're trying to grab to the top right thigh. So I know this is like a pretzel, 100% a pretzel. Good. Now you're gonna have to lift those hips a little bit to bring that right hand underneath that right thigh, and then interlace your hands together. And then you can extend those legs. So now you're completely twisted and bound. Your hands are attached. Walk that left foot towards the center of your mat, and then very, very gently, slowly rise on up. So you've got to find your point of focus and extend and open up the chest. Good. Really intense stretch to try to hold, opening up, pressing firmly through that left foot, rolling the shoulders open. Maybe you choose to extend that right leg as well, breathing into it. Good. And then to release out of it, you slowly roll that right foot down, release, and forward fold. Awesome work, guys. That's not an easy one, but it's a cool little party trick for you. Good. Take this nice, easy forward fold. Take a nice big breath in. Find your half lift, your flat back. Good. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Plant those hands down. Walk back to your high plank position. Good. As you exhale, find your low plank. Inhale, lift the chest, upward dog. Exhale, hips up, downward facing dog. Big deep breath. Let's go ahead and roll onto the balls of the feet. Lower the knees down and wide. Hips back towards your heels. Find your extended child's pose. Belly fills up the space between your thighs. Crown of the head extends forward. Chin tucks slightly. Your shoulders feel like they're pretty tight and tense. You can draw the knees together. Take the fingertips back towards your heels for a more traditional child's pose. Hold, slowly rise on up. Plant those hands down, tuck your toes, send your hips up high, downward facing dog. And then on your inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, take your right knee behind your right wrist. Extend your left leg further back. Find your half pigeon pose. Walking the hands back towards the hips, lift the chest. Sink your hips down really low if that's available, or just pause here. So you want to make sure that you're not letting all of your weight shift over to that right side, that you're equally weighted through both sides, and that your chest is open. And then from here, if you want to take this further, very gently walk those hands on out. Maybe come to the forearms. Maybe take the chin to the chest. Again, shift that weight a little bit more to the left side. Every inhale, feel your shoulder blades pull apart. Every exhale, feel your hips sink and settle in just a little bit further. For one more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Those hands back to lift the chest. Tuck your left toes underneath, send your right leg back, either three-legged down dog or all four limbs down, whatever suits you. Knowing that we will all meet back in that downward facing dog position when you're ready. And when you are there, I want you to take just a couple of breaths. Just observing that space that we just opened, the difference from one side to the other. And on your inhale, the left leg will rise. That exhale, the left knee comes behind the left wrist. Walk that right leg further back. Walk the hands back outside of the hips and press into the fingertips to rise, lifting the chest. Roll the shoulders back, soften. This is a really intense stretch for most. If you need to put a pillow underneath your left glute, that suits perfectly fine. Hips sink low, walk the hands out if that's okay. Looking onto those elbows. You can draw the chin to the chest. And take one more inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, those hands walk back. Your right toes tucked underneath. You have that option to find your downward dog or a three-legged down dog, left leg up in the sky. Rolling it out and appreciating that difference in that stretch from one side to the other. And then let's all find our downward dog. 2 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath in. As you exhale, look between the hands, walk your feet all the way through, come to seated. Sitting up really tall, draw the knees and ankles together. Send your fingertips forward. And then as slow as you can, roll down one vertebra at a time. Connecting that spine with your mat. And then taking those knees in towards your chest. Massaging out the low back. Rolling out those ankles, wiggling the toes, similar to how we started. Draw some circles on the ceiling with your knees. Just take one quick heart opener, hip opener. Let's go ahead and plant those feet flat, hip distance apart. Extending your arms down by your side. Make sure that you can just barely brush your heels. It's a perfect position. And then I want you to press firmly into the whole foot, especially that big toe wall. Press firmly into the forearms as you inhale, prepare. As you exhale, lift those hips up really high. Draw the knees towards the midline of the body so they're parallel, and then walk those shoulder blades together. Interlacing those hands, those shoulders should be well and open by now, pressing into the forearms to lift those hips even higher. Avoid turning your gaze from side to side. Instead, pull those heels back towards you and the knees stretch forward, giving those quads a little bit deeper stretch. Opening up the front side body even further. Inhale. As you exhale, release the hands. Reach the hips towards the heels, lengthening the spine. Wiggle those feet to the edge of the mat. Draw the knees together. One hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. Similar to the start of class, I just want you to observe your breath. The breath into the belly, the breath into the chest. If you can smooth out that breath. Equal inhales and exhales. And gently slide your left leg along down your mat. Reach that right knee in towards your chest. Rolling out that right ankle, take your left hand. Gently pull that right leg across the body. Reach your right arm out wide to the side. Spinal twist, turn your gaze to the right. onto the spine, right knee comes into the chest. So swap them out, extending your right leg long, draw the left knee in. Roll out the ankle, wiggle around the toes, give that left knee a nice big squeeze. As that right hand pulls the left leg across, left arm stretches out wide. Turn your gaze down the left arm. Good. Trying to glue the left shoulder blade down. Finding the stretch of that whole left side body and the ribs. The low back. Reconnecting with the breath. Slowly roll onto the spine one last time. Both knees come into the chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Lift the back of the head off of your mat. Draw your forehead to your knees. Give yourself a really big hug. Squeeze it all out. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, extend your legs long down your mat. Arms down by your side. Flip the palms up. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Let the toes turn out to the side, exposing through the inner thighs and ankles. Walk the shoulder blades down towards your heels, creating a longer neck and space between the bottoms of the ears and the tops of the shoulders. Arms are away from the body, the palms lifted up, receiving energy. Closing down the eyelids. Taking a couple of big audible inhales and exhales. Let yourself soften into the pose, into the resting position. And while this might not feel challenging, challenge might be to slow everything down. The thoughts, the breath, a little tension, the muscles holding on. I invite you to stay into this position, into our Shavasana, as long as you can, ideally for a couple of minutes. Letting yourself soak up the practice. Letting yourself find some stillness in what is often a really fast-paced lifestyle. Enjoying your Shavasana, and taking a moment to appreciate the body and the breath. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.